Hey guys, Justin Bryant here from selfmadesuccess.com, and I'm going to show you how to pick the best domain name for your website. So this is very important. It really starts the first impression for your brand. It can make or break you, and it's really hard to change down the line, so you need to get it right on the first try. Okay, so I'm going to give you 11 ways to, or 11 rules is a better way to put it, for picking the perfect domain, okay? So first, we're going to go with only use .com domains, okay? So everyone tends to type in .com when they're searching for a website by default. Most websites are .com. The most highly trafficked sites in the world are .com. You got Google.com, Facebook.com, YouTube.com. All of these biggest websites are .com. It's the most professional looking. It's the most easy to remember. So go for .com every single time. Don't go for .org, .net, or any of that other crap. Number 2, make it as short as possible. You'll also notice that the biggest websites in the world usually have a 1 or 2 word name. Facebook, Google, Twitter, Yahoo, YouTube, Reddit, things like that. They have very short names, okay? I wouldn't go more than 3 words. I wouldn't go more than just a handful of syllables. It doesn't need to be a sentence. It needs to be a phrase or a word or 2 words. Okay, make it as short as you can while still getting everything else in that you need to. Number 3, make it easy to spell. If you can spell it, that's great, but you're making this to be a big public brand. You want people to be able to spell it, otherwise no one's going to remember it, you're going to get less traffic, and people are going to forget about you. So if your name is, say, Robert Herjavec from Shark Tank, he wouldn't do very good to make a website with his last name because no one can remember his name. So the better thing to do is to use something that's easy to remember. If your name is easy to remember and you're branding yourself, that's fine. But if it's hard to spell, if it's a foreign language and you're targeting people in the US who don't speak that language, then don't do it, okay? Just make it very easy for people to spell, to type, things like that. Number 4, make it describe your site very well. So what are you going to do? What is your website or brand about? Are you a marketing consultant? Are you a recipe blog? Are you a fitness trainer? What are you doing, and how can you make a domain that will describe that and clearly state what you're going to do? Number 5, make sure you can afford it. Now, a lot of the premium .com domains can cost a few $100s down just to get them, and then of course they're, you know, $10, $20, $30 a year to renew, but a lot of times you have to pay a lot up front to get the best domains. So make sure you can afford it. Get a domain you can afford. If you can't afford a great domain yet, then either borrow the money to get it or settle for something else until you can get it later on. A lot of times big domains will go up for sale and you can buy them at auction or something later on. Number 6, make sure it won't cause copyright problems, okay? A lot of these companies trademark their names. Now, you can get in a big legal battle if you build a brand that's rising and is big, but it includes words from big brands, or it might confuse people and make them think it's associated with another big brand. You don't want to go to court with these people. Just to give an example, Entrepreneur on Fire, which is one of the biggest entrepreneurship podcasts available right now. And John Louis Dumas had to go to court. He had to deal with a big deal with Entrepreneur.com because his name for his brand kind of could have been mistaken as associated with Entrepreneur.com. So things like that. Even though John Louis Dumas, I'm pretty sure, won the case, Still, you don't want to deal with things like that, so it's better to try and avoid trademark and copyright problems from the start. So search for other sites, search for other brands that might have a name that if you're thinking of choosing one, but you find one that already has one or already has it within the name, you need to go find something else that's more unique. Number 7, don't use hyphens or numbers. A big mistake a lot of people do is they'll put, blah 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 dash blah blah blah.com or some stupid like that. So people don't ever think to type that in when they're looking for your brand, okay? And numbers, it doesn't look professional when you use hyphens or numbers. No big name site ever uses hyphens or numbers. Go look at the top sites on Alexa.com that get the most traffic in the entire world. I guarantee you 99.9% of them do not use hyphens or numbers. Number 8, make sure it is available. If your domain is not available, obviously you can't use it. Or you can buy it from them, but it's going to cost you way too much, most likely. So there are auctions. Sometimes the domain is owned but not being used. And there are people that flip domains for profit, so they might buy domains, build them up, and sell them. So be careful on pricing, be careful at auctions, and try to get the domain for a reasonable price, but make sure it is available. A lot of times you can just type in the domain blah blah blah.com, and if it doesn't show a website come up, it shows something else like this domain is available on GoDaddy or something like that. It'll be a message similar to that. Then you can go try and buy it, see how much it is. Number 9, consider including a keyword for better SEO. So I recommend you look up maybe the 5 best keywords to describe your brand. So if you're a personal trainer in Los Angeles, California, and you're trying to make a website, you might do, now some of your best keywords are going to be Los Angeles, personal trainer, fitness, things like that, okay, bodybuilding, whatever. And you need to have these things for SEO. Now, obviously, a lot of the biggest brands don't depend on things like this. They don't worry too much about SEO because they build a brand based on a technology or based on a product. But for SEO purposes, for just getting traffic, if you're starting out, you might want to choose something like that if you can't come up with anything unique that's not taken yet. So just keep that in mind. 10, make it memorable, unique, and catchy. Okay, so Reddit, for instance, is a great name. It's something I've seen it here or something like that. It's basically what it means. Reddit. I read it there. It's like a news site. It's a community site where you find information, you find other people to talk to things about, and it gets a lot of traffic. It's very easy to remember. It's easy to spell, things like that. You might even misspell your domains. You might try to do something like that just to make it a little more unique, but don't make it completely crazy to where nobody can spell it either. But, YouTube, okay? Tube describes like a television. You, as in creating a social aspect to the name, okay? So things like that, just make it unique, catchy, short, memorable, help people remember the name. Well, if they think of entrepreneurship, what do they think of? They think of entrepreneur.com, or if they want to learn more about business, think of Business Insider, or something like that. It's easy to remember. And last but not least, make it sound professional. You don't want something that sounds like you're an amateur, if you're like a consultant, or you're starting a business. I don't understand any reason why you would want to not sound professional when building a domain, but you need to sound professional in pretty much every scenario for creating a website. So just sound it out, ask a few people before you buy the domain what it sounds like to them, what is the first thing that comes to their mind when they hear your domain name. Ask around and get some other opinions before you just go off and impulsively buy one, okay? Make it sound professional, don't waste your money, don't do something with hyphens, numbers, .org, things like that make it sound less professional, okay? If it's short, sweet, catchy, memorable, easy to spell, is a .com domain, things like that. That is good stuff. That is what you want to focus on, okay? So those are 11 rules to follow. Anytime you're choosing a domain, come back to these 11 rules, and it'll help you make a better overall decision. I hope this video helps you. I hope you can find the domain you're looking for, whatever that may be. And if this video helped you, please like it and subscribe so I can create more videos for you like this, and I can help you figure out other parts of your business, help you be a better entrepreneur, and help you to develop yourself as a better person. And don't forget to leave a comment if you want to add another tip in here that I didn't mention. If you want to just let me know what you thought about the product, things like that, you can do that in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. And if you want to contact me directly, if you want to work with me, if you want to get more in-depth resources, things like that, that take you a little farther into how to do these things, how to create a business that works, how to start your first business, how to build one that's already built, how to make and improve yourself as an entrepreneur, things like that, go to selfmadesuccess.com. And other than that, I'll see you in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope you have a great day.